Hello guys, and welcome back to the Crimson YouTube channel. Today I will be talking about what I wish I knew before junior year. So I'm currently a high school senior. I will be graduating soon, and at the end of junior year I really was just like, wow, I feel like I should have been warned about a lot of the things that happened in terms of like there are things I would do better, there are things I would spend more time on, things I'd spend less time on. And so, because I have that foresight and that experience, I hope that I can share it with you guys and that you guys don't have to go through what I went through and make the same mistakes that I did. So, let's just dive in. The first thing I wish I knew is that you should start taking your grades very seriously in junior year. I feel like all throughout your school career, you should take your grades reasonably seriously. And you're often told by your teachers, like, oh, this is really, really important. These grades are really important. And like they say that, like, since like middle school, you probably have been told, like, your grades are really going to matter. But your junior year and senior year grades are really just like they are the grades that you send to university applications. They are the grades that determine where you go to university. And so they really are more important than any of the other grades that you've ever had. So be it like exams, GPA, to the second to last year of high school is when your grades often start getting actually important. And so this means like if you were coasting by pretty decently with like minimal studying time, now is maybe the year to start like investing in studying techniques, start figuring out how you best learn. If you know that like the classes you take will also be carried forward to like the 12th grade, maybe like read ahead, like take like really good notes, that kind of thing. Like really start investing more time into having good grades because of course depending on what countries you're applying to university in, grades will have a significant role. It varies how significant that role is, but it is still a significant role in what universities you can get into, what universities you can, have a decent shot at. So take your grades a bit more seriously than you did the year before. Secondly, another thing to start taking seriously this year is college applications. So obviously, the actual application is sent in your last year of high school, your senior year. But in junior year, there are a lot of things that you can do to make it easier for your future self. Because when I got to like grade 12 and like the end of summer before grade 12, I was just like, there is so much that I could have started doing in the 11th grade when I had so much more time. Because the sort of things like researching majors, researching schools, like there are a lot of like different research things that this is information that you need to know in the 12th grade. But if you had started searching and refining your college list, your majors, whatever it is, if you had like lined up internships, all that stuff, if you had prepared all of these things in in junior year, it makes senior year so much easier in terms of college applications. So my advice to you as a forthcoming junior is make sure by the end of junior year you have a college list, you have your major, and you have started reading about your major, learning like about people who are like doing careers you want to do, or like reading articles and books about your major, which will be really useful when you're writing your essays in senior year. And honestly, it could even be the time to start reading college application essays to see the format, see the examples, to know what you're going to be expected to write in the future. The third thing I wish I knew is that you need to be a lot more intentional with your extracurriculars in junior year. And when I say intentional, I don't mean spring headfirst into every single club and after school activity that you can find. I mean pick and choose. Be sort of start narrowing things down. Like if you don't like something, stop doing it, right? But if you have been doing something for a long time, longevity in your extracurriculars is really, really important. So, for example, if you've been like a passive member of like an MUN club for a long time, the number of years you've been in the club is a really good benefit for you. But if you find that you haven't like advanced, like you've just been a club member the whole time, maybe senior year is a time to start thinking about how can I get leadership roles? How can I like progress in my extracurricular activities. So think about leadership, advancement, and also think about cutting down what you don't really need, and maybe taking on things that would be more suitable for your major, for your colleges, whatever, as long as you are also interested in it. Don't just do something for college applications just because. But if you also care about it, that's also obviously going to be a plus. The general rule is that a few really good extracurriculars is better than like a bunch of like moderate or like not very well done ones. So really prioritize quality over quantity with this one. My fourth tip is to start building connections with your teachers for good rec letters. So I actually did this. It wasn't really, I never did it just for rec letters. And honestly, you should not just like do this only for rec letters. Like, get to know your teachers because they're human beings and they have lives and they have interests, and they are sometimes really, really interesting and fun, and they can give you a lot of good advice. So, for me personally, my English teacher, my psychology teacher, were kind of people that I got really close to from junior year to senior year, and they did end up writing my recommendation letters, which I think that my personal relationship with them was really useful for me because they were able to write so much more personally about me because they know me like well, not just like as a face in the classroom. Because even if you participate really well in class, that only goes so far because you can answer a lot of questions, you can participate in discussion, but if you don't, you know, actually communicate with your teachers outside of class, like just say, hey, how was your weekend, you know, what are your plans, like that kind of thing. Just like casual conversation to get to know your teachers will really help you stand out in their minds, and it lets them know a couple things about you that they can use in your recommendation letters as well. So get to know your teachers, invest in like spending time with them. Yeah, be civil and be friendly. And if you're the kind of person who's like really confrontational with your teachers and like, it doesn't really matter what they think of me, maybe start like, you know, being nicer, like, because their opinion of you really does end up mattering, and it does start to matter after junior year. And finally, my fifth tip is that by the end of junior year, you should have planned out the most productive summer ever, because summer before junior year is so, so, so important. You know, you want to have at least like one big internship, passion project, summer program, whatever it is. Just have meaningful activities. And when I say meaningful activities, I don't mean that you should follow like a specific mold of like, oh, if I don't go to YYGS, my summer is ruined. That's not really, that doesn't have to be what your meaningful activity is. Because obviously it depends on your income, on your location, on whatever it is. There are so many factors. But do the best with what you have. Being productive doesn't really mean like spending a lot of money to go to like a fancy program or like looking for an internship when you don't even have like the means for that. Being productive and meaningful with your summer means doing activities that you care about that are going to advance you in some way. That could be like learning a language, starting a like writing, whatever it is. Just find an activity that you care about and stick to it over the summer and do it well. And if you are looking for like summer plans for like getting internships, making passion projects, and generally having a really productive summer after junior year, look no further than right here for our series called the Last Minute Summer Guide, where I will be releasing some short videos and a couple of long form videos about the last minute way to like figure out plans like passion projects, internships, and all the things that you feel like you should have figured out that you maybe haven't figured out yet. So subscribe, follow our YouTube shorts, our Instagram reels, and TikTok for that series. And that'll be it from me today. See you guys in the next video.